2nd, 2024. It's about 10:19 a.m. Mountain Time. I'm going to show y'all from start. The airlift Tiger pump is 392 feet down in the water well. I'm going to do it with one air compressor. You want to go ahead and get it like max charged up and ready. And so I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. Give me a moment. Now it's putting air in. I'll come back over here. And you just wait patiently. And so you just wait patient as it's counting. It's going to blow in a lot of air. And then it'll push the water out. So I'll give y'all a moment to see. So it's starting to blow just a little. See if I get any more sediment pulled up. Here goes the first push. Any little bit of color you see, that means there's still sediment inside the water well. So I'm getting like a little light yellow color to it. It's already filling up that jug right away. So you can tell that I've gotten it quite a bit more cleaner than what it was. I'm trying to find me a spot to sit that's not wet. I've already shaken it quite a few times, quite a few days in a row. It takes quite a bit of work when it's a deep water well. When it's a shallow water well, you can do this process like really fast and quick with the airlift Tiger pump. As this being at 392 feet, and the amount of weight that water is and trying to push it up is quite a bit. But the whole key part is you want the air bubbles to stick to the sediment that's so light and fluffy, but yet so heavy and thick and gunky that'll get stuck to your water well pump. And that's the whole key point of these intervals. In order to be able to push the sediment up and out, it'll get out. And so kind of give you an idea on my washboard, you can tell how thick the stuff is. And that's what's at the bottom of my water well. Here's the next interval. And this was it's collected. It as your strong submersible pump is trying to provide water to your family at 16 gallons per minute. And a possibility to be able to open 2 to 3 faucets. The amount of force that these pumps are, they're strong enough to kick that stuff up and loosen it up, and it gets into your water well pump and it starts to grind away the pump and wear it down over time. Well, it's pretty rough when your family don't have water because the sediment has destroyed your pump. And so showing y'all off a start basis alive to show y'all how I get this water to come up. Max charge your compressor, put it on about 60 psi. If you have a strong enough compressor that can push an average of about 30 to 40 psi, you will be able to successfully pull it up if you have only 30 feet of water in your water well. If you have less than that, I'm sorry, this device will not work for you. You would have to have a water well division person to approve you putting water in the water well in order to be able to use the process until you get your water well clean. And so I hope this helps y'all understand. This is looking pretty clear of how clear the device has cleaned up my water well. As y'all can tell right here, once again, I'll show y'all. This stuff is pretty gunky. I can't get a good spot to get it stuck to my hand anymore. But I am very proud of my calculation and dimensions. The amount of weight in a 6-inch diameter water well at 1.5 gallons is about how much water weighs per foot. So with 30 feet of water at 1.5 gallon per foot, you're looking at about 450 gallons of water pressure forcing downward into the pump to be able to uplift that sediment and carry it out. So now that I have it pretty clear, I do have a brand new pump. I have all my materials to be able to reinstall my deep water well pump. Unfortunately, I won't be able to install it at 360 feet. I'm going to have to install it at 380 feet just to be safe, to make sure I'm always in the water and pulling up water. What happened to me this year, my water table dropped in the pipe. I usually have 80 feet of water in the water well, but some reason I've lost 50 feet. And it's left me with 30 feet of water in the water well. So the perforated pipe that's all the way down to 380 feet and it's perforated up to 360 feet, the water is stopping right at 360 feet and not going up into the water well casing anymore like how it used to. I used to be able to have the pump right there at 360 feet at the top of the perforated pipe. And so I've done my best to try to clean all up and through it and everything to have a good chance of reinstalling my water well assembly and continue my life being able to get comfortable showers, washing my clothes, cooking for my family, washing the dishes, all those things that you need to do in your normally daily life. As far as like living out in the desert and thinking you can reforest the whole planet from here, nah, you're not going to be able to do it with this water well, even though you're at 400 feet depth and it would be good irrigation water for your plants. Just your normal daily vegetables that you may like to grow and everything is fun to water with this assembly out in the desert. But you can tell that is way clearer than what it was from the last time I went live. Even though it's kind of hard and tricky with the digital camera stuff, but you can tell that it's starting to get darker. I'm gonna kind of zoom in if I can. And you can see that it's starting to get darker. It looks like I'm pulling up some more sediment. So it'll be another few days. So all I can do for right now is just transfer water from the barrels and, you know, do it old school like in the old Western days where you heat up your water, put it in the bathtub and get a nice hot warm bath like that. That's how I got clean. So that is definitely pulling up some more sediment. It was clear for a moment. I had emptied the jug and started it fresh right at the beginning of the stream. I just want y'all to have a good idea to see that this is a real functional device. And here I am pulling up some more junk in the bottom of the water well. I thought I had it clear. I'll just keep at it again. Just keep at it, keep at it. And what I do is I'll lift about 5 feet up while the compressor is off and all the air is out of the line. And then I'll just kind of let it drop for a moment to kind of dig itself into the bottom of the water well. Let's see if I can grab a brick and throw it down to sit. You know, I'm so anxious to finalize my water well, but I don't need another mistake. I'm so exhausted trying to correct every different way I can for a desert water well. It's not like out in a climate where you have trees and grass and the humidity and you don't have all of this desert storm and all these conflicts of so much dust out in the desert. And then the tremors and earthquakes, shaking up stuff in your water well, finding your water well filter already all clogged up with all different types of gunk shaking up in your water well. These are all things that I've done my best to figure out for a desert climate, and any obstacle and way that you could fix your water well, really great out in the desert. Of course, the airlift Tiger pump is great if you need to fix it for your shallow water well. Even if you're not in a desert and some reason you just got a lot of dirt all of a sudden in your water well, this thing will blow so much bubbles in there and it'll remove the stuff and help uplift it. Of course, as you moving all these bubbles, you want to let it resettle it, then rerun it again. It's another way to operate the airlift Tiger pump. When I cleaned a shallow water well, this people, they had a problem with so much earth in their water well for like 20 years and they couldn't figure it out. And this was just a 4-inch casing. And I was able to snugly get my airlift Tiger pump down into the casing. And it removed all that mud and everything that was at the bottom of their water well immediately. And I was done in almost like 45 minutes to an hour and a half. And that was an 85-foot water well. When you come to something like 400 feet down, this is where it's been problematic for airlifts, is trying to find a way to get it to work. And the time factor it takes is a lot of time. But the amount of money it costs for a water well driller to fix this for you, you're talking about $5,000 to have your whole assembly uninstalled. Another $5,000 possibly, whatever time frame it takes them, to clean the bottom of your water well. And then another $5,000 to reinstall your water well. So if you're looking for something that's DIY, a way to do it yourself, always make sure you take high safety cautions while you're doing this type of work on your own water well. If you're removing all the electric line, how I removed this one. If you're removing all the electric line, you got to make sure you're not stepping on it. You see how I got it strung out throughout the field right there. And this is an all no step zone. When I go to start reinstalling this, it's going to be a no step zone. So how do I do it myself? I welded this attachment with a longer pipe on top. And I got one little rig slinged on it. And I put a little small T-bar and I feed the pipe up through and I connect them. And this is a 20-foot lift, and that helps me extend the lift just a little bit more up above it. And that's how I reinstall all of my assembly here. It's a lot of pipe work to do. I got a few more sections here. These are 10 foot long, and I got 3 of them to be able to adjust the depth of my water well in case I decide to just go past the perforated pipe. I can. I have 17 20-foot long sections, and then I have about 15 feet right there. You're looking at 340, 365 feet. And then I do have one more 18th 20-foot long pipe just in case I got to get down in there. So just to show you on my air compressor, I know it's got a little loud. Kind of give y'all an idea of what average I'm running on there. About 30 psi average to about 35. You're looking at what type of compressor I'm using. This one's a belt pulled one. Kind of give you an idea, it's a cast iron type compressor. These are usually made for spray painting, being able to paint anything that you need to paint with those pneumatic spray painters. This one, it was strong enough to do it. This one, you can get it at your local Harbor Freight. It was able to average about 25 psi to about 30. So it's a pretty good one. This one, it has a good strength to it. A spray compressor. Does it have the specs for it? Maybe. 4 SAFM. This one I couldn't find the history on it because it was old. I bought it at a pawn shop and it just needed a new switch. And so you can tell that I'm pulling up a decent amount of mud still. When you see it that dark, you do not want that running through your water well, deep water well pump assembly. A shallow water well is different. The pump is strong enough and easy to refurbish comparably to a deep water well submersible pump. And so, you know, those people telling me that their shallow water well pump have been pumping all that dirt and sediment through their water well assembly for like over 15 years, it's just proven fact that the shallow water well pumps are strong enough to handle even if it came out like that. And that's how their water was coming out on their house for over 15 years. You know, and they couldn't figure it out for a desert area. They didn't want to hire a water well driller. No, they did. They did hire a well driller to try to come and chemically bond the sediment down to the bottom of the water well. But who wants a lot of chemicals in the water well when you can use a simple air compressor with an airlift technology in order to purely just use oxygen to clean your water well? It's the whole key point. And so it's a lot of work. It's not easy when it's a deep water well. You stay dedicated to it, you'll save you all that money. If you have a way to reinstall your water well, if you made you like a little crane over your water well, it's one that I helped with an elder man out in California. I was able to help him with look like a jib crane, or even look like one of those winch trenches off of a Jeep kind of design that he used, and they just kind of built like a metal type ordeal over the water well, and we were able to do it. I had showed them how you could attach a metal cable to your pump and use they had these electrician grip cable type devices, and you can use that to slowly lower your well assembly in with it like that, as somebody trying to do it yourself. You know, of course, it's not easy when you have 20-foot long sections and you're having to install it that way. Doing it yourself, especially if you don't have a all-terrain tractor like me that can lift up 20 feet to reinstall your whole assembly. As far as for all the shallow water well pump users, you know that you have a light two-hose nozzle system with just a little tiny metal tip at the bottom that connects both of those hoses, and it's light enough and easy for you to pull it up and out. And so don't try to pull up your deep water well pump by hand. You will hurt your back. It's too heavy, and you're risking every chance of hurting yourself. As far as a pipe clamp to be able to hold your assembly, I highly recommend you investing into a pipe clamp and getting you one that can work with your water well assembly. They're not cheap. They can range anywhere from $200 to $500 just for a pipe clamp that works with your water well, and it's a specially designed one just to work with water wells. So, you know, if you're looking to do it yourself, air compressor, all your air hose lines, all the parts to it, everything that you need to do for a submersible pump, even having a tractor is going to cost you money to get. So when you look at the cost of paying a water well driller 20 grand to fix your water well, or taking 20 grand and buying all the equipment yourself and having a way to do it several times if you have this issue several times, is a way to be able to do as a backup investment for your ranch, your farm, maybe your 5-acre ranch. This is an 80-acre lot. So it kind of gives you all an understanding of what all types of things you got to look for. If you're somebody trying to look to get out there, to be out rural, get away from the city, maybe you want to retire like how we did and just see the world in a different view instead of the skyscrapers like out in the city. Everything you need to know and be prepared for a deep water well, you need to research as much as you can. If you can find you a spot with a shallow water well, you have a good chance of being able to fix it yourself without having to get all of this equipment. And you can do it for relatively real cheap with whatever tools. If any of y'all are talking in chat, I won't know because I don't know how to do it on mobile just yet. How do I look at my chat on here? I don't even know where to push it. How do I know when someone's saying something in chat? I wouldn't know. So, if you have any questions and want to ask me anything about this airlift Tiger pump, how I got it to function, if you're trying to troubleshoot it and you can't get it to pull up water, just know that you got to have 30 feet or more. The further down deep you go, the more water you're going to need above that pump. Right now, all I know is that 400 feet of all assembly I have here, that having 30 feet above the water, the airlift Tiger pump will successfully pull it up. And so if you manage to have a 500-foot water well, a 700-foot water well, a 1,000-foot water well, and you want to let me know that my device worked and and need me to help give you any calculation, tell me where your water is above the pump, how far you put the pump down into the water. All those things are going to be important if you need me to calculate it and give you an idea what type of air compressor assembly you'll need. If you need dual compressors, triple compressors, all those things are going to be important. So whatever you need to ask me, I'll try my best to answer it. If you need me to come out, I have to wait. I have a year and a half to wait. A little under a year and a half to wait. I have to wait a year and 3 months before I can leave my state. So, all I can do is just wait. I got things I got to take care of here before I can leave anywhere from here. So, if you're in Colorado and you need help with your water well, you can ask me, and I can come and visit you. And I can take time, if the time permits, I will take time to come out and help you. Once again, this is my Schedule 120 pipe, and this is my Schedule 80 pipe. I have Schedule 80 pipe for sale. This is still good pipe. It's still solid. I recommend it for a warmer climate zone. If you are in a Colorado cold zone, I recommend one Schedule 120 or more if you can afford it. It's expensive. This one, I'm willing to let it go for about $350. This is about 360 feet of plumbing at 1 inch in diameter. I have 2 water well pumps. I'm willing to let go at $75, our best offer if you for each pump. If you're willing to take it to a shop and get it refurbished and want to try. It may be a lot of work, but it's worth it to do it yourself. This is my 4th time of doing this. 3rd time to do the airlift tiger pump on it. So, that's definitely gonna take some time to clean and everything. Good luck to you all out there. Try your best to have fun on that wobbly planet Earth, and much love to you all out there. Y'all take care. Find you clean, safe drinking water. I'm not looking to mass produce my airlift tiger pump as a patented product. I'm giving it to y'all for free. If you need me to put your assembly together, I can do it here in Colorado, and you can ask me to mail it to you. Only serious inquiries, please. I will consider it. The prices are a lot different nowadays, but I will consider it. Take care. Peace and love.